Hello friends, welcome back to another edition of Java Learning. Today our topic is file handling in Java. What is actually a file? A file is a place on a computer that stores data and information permanently, unlike simple variables. For example, if you store 2 in an integer variable, if you print it, you will get it 2. The moment you say x is equal to 9, the value 2 is lost. That means every time you put a new value, the old value is gone. So if you want to retain all your data, then you need to put them in a file. Every file has a unique name with proper extension. For example, for text file it will have .txt. For data file that has been created, they are actually binary files, will have the extension .dat, dat, and many more extensions all of you know. You can read a text file using Notepad, but not a binary file. It is through programs you have to access a binary file. There are several file operations, like you can create a file, you can read from a file, you can write to a file, you can get information about a file, that is about data, that is called searching. You can add data at the end of the file, that is called appending. You can delete a file. So all these operations you can do for file operations. Now, types of files in Java. There are basically two types of files. One is text file, another one is binary file. Now this is actually a diagram showing this side a program and another side you have a file. From a program, if the data goes to a file, that is called a writing process. And from a file, if you access anything, that is called a reading. Now what is a stream? A series of data is referred to as a stream in Java. Stream is classified into two types, byte stream and character stream. Types of streams in Java. There are two types, byte stream and character stream. Byte stream has input stream classes for reading a file and output stream classes for writing to a file. Character stream has got reader classes for reading and writer classes for writing to the file. Okay, I'm creating a text file. For that, I have used a package java.io, because in this package you have all the file related classes that I need to create, to read, to write, and so on. So the class name I have given is file create. The main method has been declared, and here you have given throws IO exception. Now this is a file class under IO package. This will help you to create an object of a file class. So you're actually creating a file called animal.txt. So for this, the whole statement would be file F capital OB is equal to new file and the file name animal.txt. Okay, you can use a path also. Just check out what is actually a path. Now this I have done. Now there is a method under file class to check whether the file is created or not. So my file object is what? OB. I'm just reading this particular method with this object. If ob dot create new file, if the file is created, it means that if it has been created, it will print a message file created, else it will print file already exists. Okay, if you already have a file by this name, then it will print a message. Now let us compile And now let us run the program. So the file has been created. Let us see the file already exists. I executed this program before also. For this reason, it is showing me file already exists. This is actually the output. Okay. Let me show you properly. File already exists. Now I'll just do what? I'll clear this and let me create a new file by another name. Let me do what? Players.txt. Players.txt, right? Now let me compile, no syntax error, and now let me create this file. I have to run the program. File created. Now here, if you check it out, players, PLAYERS, players.txt. Okay, so player.txt has been created here. Okay, this is a text file that has been created. Now this is a program for writing to a text file. This is import java.io.star. I told you why. This is, I have given the class name as file write and append. Why? Because in this program I'm going to show you two processes. One is writing to the file, and then one modification will be done to end something at the end of the file. This is the main method. Now here you need a file writer class. So you're creating an object of file writer class. File writer fw is equal to new file writer, and you are going to send every data in this particular file, that is poem.txt, right? So Java file writer class is used to write characters oriented data to a file. Now this is all about buffer reader. I'll tell you what this particular buffer reader class does. During the write operation, the characters are written to the internal buffer instead of the disk. Once the buffer is filled or the writer is closed, the whole characters in the buffer are written to the disk. For that, you have to write a command. Buffered writer bw is equal to new buffered writer, and you have to connect it to this previous object fw. Then the third class that I need, okay, this object will be created for print writer class. Print writer pw is equal to new print writer, and you have to connect it to the previous one, that is buffer writer class. Okay, so pw is connected to bw and bw is connected to fw. And this print writer class does what? Print writer converts the primitive data, that is int, float, character, etc., into text format. It then writes that formatted data to the writer. I hope all of you have understood about file writer, buffered writer, and print writer. After doing this, you have to write to the file. So you have to take the last object, that is pw.println. Then I have written a rhyme, that is twinkle twinkle little star, and I have written all the lines by using pw.println. Remember these two lines, twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are, I have written twice here also. Then you have to close the print writer, because this is right now, this is in the buffer. It has to go into the disk. Therefore you have to close it. Now let me do what? Compile. No syntax error. Now I'll just run the program. this has got written, right? Now this is a program for reading a text file. As usual, import java.io.star. The class name is file read. This is the main method, throws IO exception. Now for reading a file, you need to create an object of file reader class. So file reader fr is equal to new file reader, and you are going to read, poem.txt. We have written this file already and we are going to read it. And then this is another object you have to create of buffer reader class. Buffer reader br is equal to new buffer reader, and this object will be connected to the previous object, that is fr, right? And then the risky codes that you have, just put it in try block. Okay, so what you're going to do, this variable is needed, this is a text file, mind it. So every record that comes out will be stored in a string data type. So you're reading from a file, the first record that is getting stored in S, and you're telling your computer read the file unless you encounter null, because at the end of the file you will have a null character, null. So you will print what you are printing, the record. This way it is going on until you come across null, right? So let us now compile the program and let us run the program now. So this is what the output is, right? Now the next one is, I'll tell you about appending to a file, adding records to a file. Twinkle twinkle little star is already written. Now this one I'm going to do what, I'll just make this one true, so that the same thing, what it will do, it should be written in small letter. Now let me compile this and let me run this program once more. So first time I wrote twinkle twinkle star, the poem was there, and then the same poem again got added at the end of the file. Now let me read the file. That means I have to run the program. Let me run it. So my terminal window is out here. So just see, this is how it looks like. Twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. So in fact I have written thrice, I have executed thrice, right? So this way every time you write to the file, what will happen, as because you have given true, it will keep on adding the records. I hope all of you have understood the meaning of the word true. If you give with the file name, means to append a file, right? So friends, we have learned how to create a file, how to write to a file, how to append a file, how to read from a file. Now let us learn the last option, that is how to search from a file, right? Now this, why it is required, but import java.util I have taken because I'm going to ask from the user what they are looking for actually, right? So this is suppose if I want to look for twinkle twinkle little star, so when I enter that thing, that will go in str, and these two lines for reading from a file, why I told you. Now this C is initially 0, why I'll tell you later. This is in a try block, what you will be requiring to read, record and store it in S. Same thing till you encounter null. Now S is the record that you have in S. The first record that has come is right now in S. Now, is that record is matching with whatever you are looking for? Okay, if it matches, so what it will do? It will print S and counter will turn +1. So it will be 0 plus 1 is 1. Again, it will go and read the second record. It will come in S. Is it matching with the thing that you're looking for? If it is yes, again it will print that record, counter will turn 2, and so on. Now when you come out, when you finish reading the file, you will come here. Is the counter is equal to 0? That means as you find the record, it is getting increased by 1. See, if it is 0 means you have not found the text, right? Now let me compile. Okay, close it. Now let me once read the file. Why I'm telling you? Because I need to copy this, because I have to type. If I'm not particular about comma and spaces, it will not find the record. I'll do Control C, then I'll do what? Clear, and then close it, and then you will look for, you run the enter text to search. So I'll just paste it, Control V, and you just do what? So this many times, it has got the record, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, 1 2 3 4 5 times. This is actually the text I'm looking for. And we wrote appending for writing once and for appending once. So these 2 lines are repeated 4 times in the file. I hope all of you have understood the meaning of searching from a file. So friends, let me do one thing. Let me run this program once more and let me search for something that is not there at all. Let me type my name, Sharda. Text not found. So this is all about searching. So we have created a file, written to a file, we have read a file, appending I have done, and then searching, the last part also is done. I hope all of you have understood this file handling concept. Okay, now if you have any doubt, see the video once more. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll be back soon with another interesting video. Till then, keep learning from A Shiksha. Do share and subscribe if you like the channel. Thank you so much.